Hello and welcome to Kelly's Wordy Reactions. So I'm sitting here on pins and needles. They have this verdict almost in on the Diddy trial, and I just wanted to see, what do you all think? What do y'all think it is? So they've come back in. They've come back in on counts 2 through 5 that they have a verdict, and only on count 1 they don't have a verdict. Anyway, I just had to talk this out and see what somebody else thought. Let's see. Karma Cartel, I know. Hi, thanks for stopping in. I just had to come in and see what is everybody thinking. So at first I was thinking, I'll go first. At first I was thinking he must be guilty on all the other counts. And then on count 1, you got some people that's just not going for that RICO. And then the guy that I'm listening to, JLR Investigates, he was just saying he thinks they might have all not guilty on 2 through 5 because of something with those predicate acts. And so he was thinking if it was guilty, then they would somehow it all fits together. I don't know. I've been confused as to how this RICO is for the whole time. So, hey, Texas Toy. Hey, is that Nay Luckett? Hey, thank y'all for stopping in. Okay, Nay Luckett says he's guilty. And then what do you think, Texas Toy? You say I don't know what to think. Oh gosh, but hopefully they convict him. Karma Cartel says, "Geesh." Oh, it's just got me on like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna do? Because I was thinking, oh wow, he must be guilty on 2 through 5. But then some people are just like, nah, I'm not gonna be able to convict him on count 1. And then the way that Mr. JLR Investigates just said, he was like, no, I think it could be that he's not guilty on 2 through 5 because of the way the predicates are. They would have been able to find him guilty. I don't know. Okay. Oh my gosh, I cannot pronounce this name. I don't know. You know what? I'm not really trying to talk about the issues of life right now. We're just talking about this Diddy trial. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, we'll see what happens with that. All right. Let's see. Mark Agnifilo said the defense would like the judge to bring out the jury. Okay, so at this point, they are again working on the wording of the instruction. It's amazing how they do this because they've already been instructed. I mean, how much more wording can we get to? But at least both sides get to have a say and have it reevaluated by the jury. So, okay then. So, anybody else want to take a guess at what you think if you're just coming in, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I'm just on pins and needles, so I thought I would come live and see what somebody else is thinking about this. It's crazy. I think So they haven't said if they brought the jury back in yet. They definitely want them to continue deliberating. I think so. What do we think here? If they stopped right here, they'd have a hung jury. I would imagine, right? It'd be a complete hung jury. Let's see. Karma Cartel says guilty and at least 15 years, I hope. So, yeah, 15 years. I think he could get 15 years on guilty on any one of these charges. For sure. Now, I guess I haven't seen anybody like rush back and come in for the verdict. So I think what's supposed to happen is all these people that are there and that were in the rooms, I think they were supposed to be contacted by email to come back when they had a verdict. So it looks like from watching the outside, it doesn't appear the person that is, he's been here reading out coming from the courtroom. So he said something with the predicate acts to where it seemed like maybe he was not guilty on several of these on counts 2 through 5, because if he were, then they would have been able to find him guilty on count 1. So we just have to see. Okay. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Adrian Kennedy says count 1 is RICO. This is not a RICO. Okay. And then Texas Toy says it's definitely a RICO in my opinion. He used his businesses and employees to do illegal acts, but it depends on how the jury sees it. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny because I was summoned for jury duty within the past 6 months. I can't remember exactly when it was, but within the past 6 months, I had to go to jury duty. And I went all the way up until, they kind of weed you out at different, stages of being in jury duty. And I went all the way up to getting in the room with the defendant and his attorney, and then the I guess it would be the district's attorneys, and they explain everything out. They ask you all these questions, and we were just in a large room where each side got a chance to fully explain, and it took like the first half of the morning with them explaining the different charges that he was charged with one crime, but then they explained out the higher crime, they explained out the lower crime, and then they asked us questions, question after question, show of hands, who would see this way, who would see this that way, and they sort of weed you out. So I was there for the entire weeding out process, and I didn't get picked for the jury. Thank goodness, because I didn't want to be on the jury, but I was there for the whole process. And I will say it was an eye-opening experience because that juries decide guilty or not guilty. That in your mind. But a lot of times when we're talking about these crimes, especially people that do talk about crimes all the time and watch cases and stuff like that, you kind of, I don't know, you kind of tend to forget that, or maybe not even realize they're going to try to get the most fair and unbiased people that they can find, people that don't know anything about this, people that are gonna, say and seem, not just say it, but really seem like they're gonna be impartial. They're gonna really just go by the letter, by the book, and hopefully they don't really want people that are kind of up on whatever it is that might be going on. They want people that are kind of in their own train of thought off somewhere, and they can come in and follow the rules and look at the thing very impartially. So that, was eye opening for me, because you just kind of think that, people would think what you think, but that's not true, because they try to make sure that they get people that don't know anything about anything. First of all, they're not going to give you any more information. I actually asked a question because I caught something that it seemed like they were trying to leave out, and I ended up asking a question. I raised my hand, but it wasn't to answer what they were asking. And so when he got to me, I said, well, I'm not really answering what you said. I have a question. And I asked the question real quick because they really don't want to tell you anything. So I asked the question really quick, and sure enough, he said, well, we're not going to talk about that right now. And I was like, that's odd, because that could make me answer differently if I knew what was going on. But by the fact that they didn't want to say what was going on, I was just like, So they really, really, really try not to give you any more information. And you just really have to look at what's being presented if you don't already know anything that's going on with these people and this situation. You really just have to look at what's being presented. And those are the people that they really try to get, is people that don't know nothing about these people. They don't know anything about it. So by them having such a diverse jury on here, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they got. And yeah, the way that people think about these people that see them all the time and kind of have history of knowing what's going on, they're going to try to weed those people out altogether. So it's really interesting, actually. Let's see. Avatar, hello, if you're just coming in. Let's see. Bird Gang 215 says free Diddy. Oh, let's see. We're gonna leave this language off, but I know you're a free Diddier. Okay. Let's see. Get convicted by a group of people who don't know how to get out of jury duty. Nobody wants to do jury duty. It is our civic duty, but nobody really wants to do it. And people usually do take their out. I just didn't really have one at this point in time. So I chose not to, try to do anything to try to get out of it and, see if they would pick me. But I did not get picked. And I didn't try to say any. I think some people do sit there and try to say things that they know are going to get them excluded. And I didn't try to do that, but I don't think they were going to pick me anyway. But once I asked my question, it's just kind of like they don't want that either. Like, they just kind of want people that are going to sit there, listen to what they're saying and go along with it. And so that you can sit and listen to what's being presented and, not have any thoughts one way or the other before you hear all the information. Yes, I know. I can't play my camera right now. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have my camera on. I don't have a good setup for doing that right now. So I am choosing to not cam up. I'm sorry. I do apologize if that, you don't like that. So, yeah. Okay, let's hear from JLR Investigates.
Now addressing both prosecutors and defense attorneys' proposals on how to move forward. The government has asked for a modified Allen charge. The defense said it's too early for that. and they seem to want more gentle language. So prosecution more towards the Allen charge angle. The defense says it's too early for that. An Allen charge is a set of instructions that ask jurors to re-examine their own views and opinions in order to reach a decision. You got a poll up. Please make sure you vote. Let us know what you think is going on here. Partial verdict, but stuck.
So where do y'all think they are with counts two through 5? They've decided on counts 2 through 5. But count 1, the RICO, they have people that won't be persuaded on both sides. And he was just now saying they want the jury to keep deliberating. It is early. I've heard of juries deliberating for days and days. So this is just
be at that point on Thursday,
a day and a half.
July 3rd or Monday.
Maybe it's, I don't know what time it is in New York, but
I'm putting stock in that they have reached verdicts on 4 counts. Oh,
they really haven't been going long enough to give up.
I'm going with that, but I may give more.
Because I think if they gave up right now, it would be a hung jury.
I think it's going on more of a gentle approach and just telling them to continue. The judge goes on to say, I could tell them that they could return on July 3rd. We could arrange that.
Okay, Texas Toy says, I think they have found him guilty on those counts, but don't want to call it a RICO.
Give them the option to deliberate on the 3rd.
That is exactly what I thought too, Texas Toy.
So they're ironing out how to deal with this. Does that mean there's going to be...
So it's been so many different people that I've heard on panels and things like that. And I didn't think at first that it was hard to find him guilty on the RICO, but I think the more I heard about how it wasn't just cut and dry, and listening to it from some lawyers, because I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, and then a lot of the people that have channels and panels, like none of us are lawyers. So I think maybe I'm not gonna say maybe I oversimplified it in my mind, like, oh yeah, he's using his employees. Oh yeah, he's his employees are carrying illegal substances around for him, and they're setting up for him to do these things, and all of this stuff is just not what you should be using your employees for, and a lot of it is illegal. So it's a RICO. But then when I would listen to the different lawyers that I listened to, they would say how it's not just like that kind of cut and dry, simple like that. So then I was like, well, I don't know. But I do know when you go to court and they're instructing you on being in the jury, they absolutely do know how to get you together on what is the charges. They spend a lot of time on telling you what the charges are and what the definitions are. They give you a lot of examples. They go down through it so that you won't be confused when it comes time to decide if this person did the crime. And then if they start going down or going up, I don't think they go up. I think they'll go down. If you can't decide, or this is in my state and city or whatever, but if they maybe couldn't decide, yes, this was this, then can you look at it and see if it's this lower charge then? And they explain that out. So they do a lot of explaining before you ever get to the trial. And now that they're having a hard time, they're even still explaining and going over language again and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot. Hey, Billy King. No, no video. I'm not really. I just wanted to talk about this. I'm not really in a position to turn on my camera right now. I do apologize. Let's see. So, hello, hello. If you're just coming in, thanks for stopping by. Um, Josh333 said, I've heard he's guilty. He's looking at 7 to 15 years. Wow, Josh, how'd you hear that? Let's see. Billy King. What did he do? Woo. Hard to explain. Let's see. Claire Whitmore. Hello, Claire. Dolly Anderson. Hello, hello. Let's see. John H. You think he's getting 25. Okay. His lawyers didn't do a good job for Diddy. They just wanted his money. Well, Josh, could they do a good job for him? That's the question. I don't know. It just they had a lot of information. Some people are just convinced, like, even what they had, a lot of people are convinced those things are not really like crimes like that. So, but they had a lot. They had a lot of text messages. Maybe, and I don't know. They're like some of the best lawyers in the whole country. So I don't know. Oh, his attorney addressed it. Really? So how could you can't really, or you're not supposed to know what the jury has already decided before they come back and tell everybody publicly. Let's see. Business card credit consultants, you say he's getting 5 to 7. John H., you think he's found guilty on 4 counts. Okay. 1, 2. Let's see. Texas Toy, they seem like they were just trying to muddy the water. Billy King, consenting adults. And that's probably why they're hung on that count, because because some people probably just can't reconcile that these women, even though a lot of those things were pretty horrific, they kept right on going with the relationship. Diddy's attorneys deal with Epstein too. Okay, let's see. So the defense would have no objection to them deliberating on July 3rd. Combs Agnifilo says no objection. If they want to, judge says, okay, let's bring back out our jury. So the jury is coming back. I'm going to turn up JLR Investigates so I can hear what he's saying. Looks like the jury is about to come in.
Done for the day. They might want to continue to go on, but that's up to them. They have to let the judge know via a note.
This is so inconvenient that this couldn't be
today or not
televised.
So close. Judge bring the jury back into the courtroom after taking input from both the prosecution and the defense on what to tell jurors in response to their announcement that they are deadlocked on the RICO count 1. All rise.
Oh, jurors coming in.
You're also going to, the prosecution suggestion is something less than a formal Allen charge. Instead of response, urging the jury to continue deliberations. The judge seemed to favor that proposal. Welcome back. I have received your note that you reached verdicts on count 2 through 5. I ask you to continue deliberating. Discuss and weigh your respective opinions.
Oh, you're welcome, Billy
and
King.
follow my instructions on the law.
Thank y'all for coming in, because I wanted to talk, and I'm like,
on the law.
who can I tell what I think? I know, I'll go live.
Holy smokes, folks. So they're going to continue to deliberate. Some people put things into perspective. I see one particular perspective here. Counts 2 and 5 are standalone charges. They can find him guilty for that and not under RICO, because some jurors may not believe his organization helped him sex traffic or transport the women. If they found him not guilty for those 2 through 5, they wouldn't be debating count 1. What's your thoughts on that scenario? Thoughts on that scenario? Well, we have a poll. Make sure you vote. Verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. 61% guilty on all 4 counts.
No,
18%
Susan,
not guilty on all
is it
4
Globe?
counts. Guilty on just counts
No,
2
they
and 3.
they have a
20%.
verdict. They haven't announced it yet. They have verdicts on counts 2 through 5, and they are deadlocked on count 1.
I ask you return to the jury room. If you decide you are done for the day, send me another note, and I'll bring you back out to end the day. Jurors leave. All right, they're continuing to deliberate. It's
All
not
right.
over. Everyone can go back to doing what they were doing.
Oh, they're not coming back until they come back. They're back out deliberating again. Wow. Let's see. Louise Sally, hello. Nathan Pogue, hi. I don't think I saw you earlier. Star Lord.
By tonight.
600 Plant Life.
A lot of scenarios.
Margie Montgomery. Merck the Greatest. I think I saw everybody else and spoke. Okay. Well, KS says Diddy is going to throw the biggest. Oh no. Unfortunately, if he could get away with it, he probably would.
I will keep putting the comments up on the screen.
So they went back to deliberate. They went back to deliberate some more. So I think it's gonna be a while. When I see that they are talking about coming back in, then I'll be back, because this is just, I don't know. I'm on the.
Oh,
wait a minute. Let's see. Hold on.
Proceed to note that the jurors have concluded for the day and will resume tomorrow.
Okay, they're done. They are probably so tired and thirsty and hungry and anxiety ridden. Because, if you're not a confrontational person, being on a jury is probably your worst nightmare, because what if everybody doesn't think what you think? Then you have to, try to stand up for this person that you either think needs to go to prison, or you don't feel like they need to go to prison, So, that's gotta be giving some people a lot of anxiety. So no verdict today. They're going home. Let's see. Yeah, Suge Knight. I don't know. I have to think about that one. It's totally different. Let's see. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all so much for coming in. I'm gonna get back to doing what I was doing. But if some of you all want to come up tonight, I might go live and let some people come up and say their piece, say what they think. We still have at least another day to for them to do this, and maybe they'll decide tomorrow, maybe they won't. Um, but anyway, what time? What time is a good time? Probably 8:30. So yeah, I'll come back live. If nobody wants to come up, then I'm going to leave probably within about 30 or 45 minutes. But I'll hang out for a little bit and see who wants to come up and talk Diddy talk. And I'll turn my camera on this time. Okay. All right. So thank you all for coming in, and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.